Today, we are diving into one of Shakespeare's most debated, most mysterious poems, Sonnet 94. Is he painting a portrait of the perfect virtuous person, or is this actually a chilling picture of hidden decay? First, we're just going to experience the poem. Then, we're going to try to unravel this thing together.
So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with a performance of the sonnet just to let it wash over you. After that, we get into the really juicy stuff. We'll unpack its contradictions, we'll unlock some key language, look at 3 totally different ways to read it, and finally, we'll zoom in on that one haunting final image. All right, so for now, no more commentary from me. Let's just let the words do the talking. This is Shakespeare's Sonnet 94.
They that have power to hurt and will do none, that do not do the thing they most do show, who, moving others, are themselves as stone, unmoved, cold, and to temptation slow.
They rightly do inherit heaven's graces, and husband nature's riches from expense. They are the lords and owners of their faces, others but stewards of their excellence. The summer's flower is to the summer sweet, though to itself it live and die. But if that flower with base infection meet, the basest weed outbraves his dignity. For sweetest things turn sourest by their deeds. Lilies that fester smell far worse than weeds. Okay, so what was that all about? Did you feel that? For the first 8 lines, it sounds like he's describing this perfect, almost godlike person. But then it's like a switch flips and the whole poem just takes this really dark, twisted turn. That whiplash you're feeling, that's the whole mystery of this poem right there. And this gets us to the absolute heart of the matter, the question that people have been arguing about for literally centuries. What is Shakespeare doing here? Is he praising this person, saying, wow, you're incredible? Is he giving them a friendly warning like, hey, be careful, you could fall? Or is it something way more sinister? Is it an accusation, pointing a finger and saying, you might look beautiful, but I see the rot on the inside? Let's dig in. Now, to even begin to get a handle on this, we've got to become language detectives for a minute. The whole puzzle really hinges on just a few key words that Shakespeare chose very, very carefully. Okay, first up, the word husband. And no, we're not talking about marriage. When Shakespeare says these people husband nature's riches, he's using it as a verb. It means to manage things wisely, to be frugal, to not waste your natural gifts. For his original audience, this was a massive compliment. It's a sign of real virtue. And that idea of management brings us to this really crucial contrast he makes. He calls these people lords and owners of their faces, but then compares them to stewards. Think about it. An owner has true possession. It's theirs. A steward, well, they're just managing something for somebody else. So he's drawing a line between authentic, innate goodness and just performing goodness. But then, bam, he hits us with this phrase, base infection. This is the pivot point where everything starts to get shaky. Base means low, common, dirty. So this isn't some noble tragedy, it's a degrading sickness from the inside. Suddenly, this perfect, untouchable ideal looks vulnerable, corruptible. And then he brings it home with the word fester. I mean, just think about that word for a second. It's disgusting, right? It's not a poetic word. It's a violent, physical word about rotting and becoming putrid. To use a word that ugly to describe a beautiful lily, well, that shock is exactly the point. Okay, so with those words in our toolkit, how do we put this puzzle together? Well, you can pretty much sort all the theories into 3 main camps. So here are the 3 big possibilities. Option 1, it's pure praise. This person is the ideal of self-control, and the ending is just a general what-if scenario. Option 2, it's a warning. That coldness, that stone-like quality, it's actually a dangerous flaw that could lead to corruption. And option 3, the darkest reading, it's a full-blown accusation. The rot isn't a possibility, it's already there. And the crazy thing is, you can make a solid case for any of them. This leads us to a really brilliant idea from the critic William Empson. He basically said, what if we're asking the wrong question? What if the ambiguity isn't a problem to be solved, but the entire point of the poem? His theory was that Shakespeare is holding 2 opposite feelings at once, admiration and suspicion. He refuses to pick a side, and that unresolved tension is what makes the poem a work of genius. Now let's zoom all the way in on that final image, because honestly, the festering lily is what gives this poem its knockout punch. It's what's so powerful and deeply, deeply unsettling. Let's hear it one last time.
For sweetest things turn sourest by their deeds. Lilies that fester smell far worse than weeds. It just lands with this quiet finality, like a piece of dark, universal wisdom. But you have to ask yourself, why lily? He could have picked any flower. Well, the lily is the classic symbol of purity, of beauty, of virtue. A weed is, a weed. If a weed goes bad, nobody's surprised or upset. But when a lily, the symbol of perfection itself, starts to rot, that's a true tragedy. It's a perversion of what's supposed to be good. And that right there is the timeless heart of this sonnet. The higher you are, the harder you fall. A person who has this incredible capacity for grace and goodness also, by definition, has the capacity for the most spectacular, foul kind of decay. The corruption of the best becomes the absolute worst. So we're left right where we started, wrestling with that tension. Is it possible to look at someone or something and feel both genuine admiration and profound suspicion in the very same moment? Or does one of them have to be the real truth and the other just a mistake? Sonnet 94 poses the question, but it gives us no easy answers. It just leaves us there to hold that tension for ourselves.